Gleymiði öllu sem þið eru að gera. Því þetta er podcastið Super.
Yeah, boy. Not on, man. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I turned him off.
Yeah, great.
I didn't.
You have that effect on people.
Yeah, he turned me on.
Oh my god, thank you. Yeah.
We are
Genuine.
professionals. This is obvious.
Yeah, I'm a professional turner offer.
Yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah, I
Can't
turn
believe
people
you
off.
did that to him.
I've done this so many times. They actually hire me. I get paid for this now.
Oh, do you now?
Yes.
Wow.
Come.
I'm glad that you're in a nice relationship, though. Obviously, it works.
Come over, I'll
It's a
turn you off.
problem in the relationship.
Oh no, that's a problem. Okay, awkward.
All right. So we got a pretty awesome guest with us today, Sorelle.
Yeah.
She is like a legit famous person, I guess.
Define famous.
She is extremely famous and powerful.
Yes.
And extremely good looking. You forgot that one.
Extremely good looking and smells fantastic and
You don't even
so
know.
powerful you don't even know about it.
You don't want to smell me. Not right now.
So we were talking about smell. It's
Good intro.
Yeah. I think it's always funny.
Yeah, we talked about that before actually.
Smell.
Yeah, smell. Like there's
This
a lot
is-
of people that like their world is
Based on
more
smell.
influenced by smell than others.
I wish I kind of had a little bit more to add to this conversation, only because I can't smell very well.
You don't have it.
We're in the same club.
Oh, nice.
I had a accident in the kitchen when I was working in a kitchen, and I
dear.
like burned the inside of my nose,
Oh, shit.
and I lost like 40% of my smell.
That means we probably smell a similar amount, because sometimes I can smell it. If I push my nose up, I can smell a bit more.
Yeah,
But it's a little sad because everybody's like, they smell so good. Or, no, actually, you know what's even worse?
I think it's a blessing.
I smell the bad smells good. And I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
smell the bad smells, the good smells very well. So it's actually shit. Cool story, bro.
That is
Fun
so
fact about
interesting.
Sorelle.
Most important. And thanks for listening.
And the podcast is over.
Jesus.
So how have you been doing? What did you eat for breakfast?
Delicious. I'm making kick-ass breakfast lately. I am on a fly, man. Like I have learned to make really good food lately and taking the time to make this freaking delicious concoction that just feeds my body.
Yeah, nourishing
I'm
yourself.
so thrilled with how I've just become so in love with the process of making really good food. Just so many vegetables and like eggs this morning and like sprinkles of seeds and olive oil and citrus. It was, oh man, I'm good at breakfast. Really good at breakfast. And salads. Oof.
Shh. I just eat a bunch of eggs.
Nice. You look like you eat them eggs. Working out, man.
Thick buddy.
So, wow, I'm speechless. So, did you like you're really passionate about food now? Like
That I think it's a big shift because I traveled so much that I didn't really care. I was like, I'll just eat whatever. But now it's not even, no, I didn't eat whatever. I tried to eat healthy, but now it's more the like, I want to make sure that the food that I prepare is treated with respect, because then it goes into my body. And I didn't used to have that association. Now I realize that anything that I put into my body is going to affect me, and it's going to affect the people around me because it's going to change my energy field.
Yes.
So I don't know. I became so in tune with the things that I want to eat. And now I just get so much joy from preparing delicious, nutritious food. And yeah, I'll have pizza every now and again and enjoy the shit out of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
you earned it.
Yeah. It's like I earned it, but also I just know that it doesn't sit as well in my body. Not for weight loss or some shit. Obviously, I don't need to fucking lose weight, but it's more of my energy just goes up, and everything's been an energetic game for me lately. I'm just trying to change my energy constantly to be of a high frequency, and that includes like different words that I'm using. I want to use different words. All the information I'm bringing in, it's everything's just an energy game now. I don't know what happened, but I'm a guru now.
You're in it.
Energy. What was the trigger for that?
2020. 2020 is for everything.
Yeah, 2020 was the trigger.
Everything. It changed everything.
Why? Like how?
I was on the world's fastest treadmill. Rat wheel, I would actually call it. Doing so much. I still haven't met anyone that was as intense as me in this thing called life. And it's not a good thing. I'm not claiming it's good, but I was moving countries every 3 to 5 days. And I didn't have any time off whatsoever for years and years and years. And I know people do this, but like I was staying up, working till 2 a.m. in the morning, waking up at 6 or 7, going straight to the computer, working again. That was my life. I was hypnotized by that for years. And then all of a sudden it was like,
gone.
Stop. And I did not know who I was without it.
Yeah, so you're like so immersed with the work that you're like when it left, it's like,
yeah, when the pressure comes off, you start to see.
Yeah, and I had to face myself. I had to face who I was without a job. Well, not without a job, because I have my job in a way, but my job was in my head was to travel the world and take people along for those experiences and travel. Yeah. And then it feels like I lost everything. It feels like I lost my identity. I'm sorry. It feels like I didn't know who I was without working. I didn't know who I was without travel. I thought that's all I had to offer. And then it was all gone. And I had to, figure out who I was without all these things. And it's been really difficult. And I'm not asking for any fucking sympathy. I know that's not what I was meant to experience from this. Was like, poor me, look at me. No, that's not what I want. But I'm just saying it was hard. Everybody's got their challenges. This was mine of last year. Everybody went through different challenges. Mine was like a complete identity loss and then rebuilding from ground zero. What an adventure. Get to refine yourself. Now in hindsight, it's really nice. I'm like, wow, that was a fun journey. When I was there, I was like, this sucks. I fucking hate myself. Everything about me. I felt like the most disgusting piece of shit that ever walked the earth.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
It was this strong?
It was. My head can go really dark.
Wow.
And this is just basically after completely immersing yourself in work.
Yeah. Good distraction from being present with myself and facing off with the worst parts of myself.
I truly think it's, super powerful for you to express it. Like even like talking about doing something, like saying something is difficult. And also like if you look at your Instagram or, you have a YouTube channel that is huge, if for the listeners, like you would look at it and you're like, oh, that person has it all good all the time. So I think it's extremely powerful just to, express it, because it's so much work too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's obviously on social media, we all know that everybody presents themselves in the best light. And I definitely did as well. I don't think
everybody knows that.
Okay.
I think that this is a problem. There's a lot of kids that just look at Instagram and they think this is like the life that they're living.
I know, and they don't realize
it's not at all.
And they don't realize. Like I know so many fucking influencers, and they're so sad.
Yeah,
this
is the same story every time. You take like literally 600 pictures and you use one, and it's the highlight of your day, basically, the subject that you're taking pictures of. And then you added that again, and then you have the product that goes up on Instagram.
Yeah, but I don't think I even knew that I wasn't being fully authentic, because I did share that I was going through hard times as well. And obviously, when I was climbing the ladder, trying to become successful, people found me relatable, and they were like, "Oh wow, this is so inspiring." And at some point, people got annoyed at me because I made it, and I was no longer relatable. And I was like, "No, this is a bit of a switch." So, but initially, when I was climbing and trying to make this thing work, I was sharing my challenges and everything like that. But what I think the difference I feel in myself now is that there's just a different level of authenticity that I didn't realize. So now when I share what I'm going through, it's not that I want attention or anything. It's just like, this is me. Take it or leave it. Like, what am I going to do? What else am I going to do? Be somebody else?
Yeah.
No, thank you. I've tried that. I'm good.
I mean, like also because this game of, you know, YouTube and Instagram is like this content creation, you know, always finding a new idea of doing a video
perfection.
and chasing maybe perfection or not perfection, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, but it's always having something to give, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
And that's like challenge, like a crazy challenge. And you're also basically working for an algorithm.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That is like the most scary thing for me. Like when I look at all this, like, you know, like I was actually talking to you, like, maybe I should make a YouTube channel. And then I was like really researching. And then I was like, holy shit, do I want to, you know, go into that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I have to put out the content. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. If I want to keep my, you know, keep my...
The beast rolling.
Yeah, the beast rolling. Yeah.
Totally.
It becomes a little bit of a trap. You get
It's
trapped in
wow. Yeah, perfect way to put it. Yeah, it definitely is a trap. It's got rewards, but I think also 2020 made me realize that like everything in say like Hollywood or any type of fame, it really is a trap. Like, and the funny thing is that we are told that this is where the happiness will lie, and everybody's working for that fame and money. But it is the highest level of trap because you think you'll be able to express yourself and be yourself. You are so far from being yourself. If you want to make it up really high, you are not yourself anymore. You are owned. And you can see that by celebrities. You can see that they're just puppets. They're like puppets on string. And I'm like, thank God I never got to that level. And as soon as I'm becoming more authentic, it's not as sexy because the truth isn't as sexy, I don't think. I think it's just more real and raw, and people are more attracted to the money and the bitches and the, you know, that's what the material looks so appealing until you get a certain amount and it's like, whoa, nothing, it's not bringing me happiness. Actually, it's making it worse. And I'm trapped in this machine, but you don't know how to let go of it.
Yeah, because you become dependent on it, kind of.
Yeah, because you think you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the struggle to keep wealth and fame is, I think, stronger than the struggle and the desire to make it in the first place.
Yeah, to keep it when you have it.
It's like this fear, it's like grips you and you're like, I have to have more.
Yeah.
What if it goes away?
Yeah, because it's your identity, it's your like everything. Yeah, it's crazy.
Has that been like difficult for you? Or like you
which part?
For example, like you, like when you start doing content and then something goes flying up, you know what I mean? Like something gets really popular, maybe get a video that like just, you
viral.
probably experienced it, just getting like a video that gets extremely popular.
Goes viral.
Yeah, viral content. And just like, because I feel like, you know, when something works, you're going to be like, I'm going to do more of that. You know?
Oh my God.
How was your experience with that?
Well, funny that you ask. I just started a new YouTube channel yesterday because the other one was so far gone for that exact reason. I started making videos and the ones that worked, I was like, whoa, it's working. So I just created more of that same thing, more and more and more. I was like, well, at least I'm getting a bigger audience. And then 2020 had to check in. You happy? Nope. And I didn't know what to do. And there was no saving this other YouTube channel. I couldn't. I don't know. I still have it. It's my main, like where I make my brand deals live there. So I still have that and I'm still going to continue with that. But it's more of the structured, like now everybody that looks at my Icelandic content, like why I moved to Iceland, pros and cons of living in Iceland, you know, that kind of like, it's not my heart and soul. Like that's not where I share the deep connections that I want to be sharing. And just having a human chat, because I really like chats. And I think that's why I started the new channel where it doesn't have the algorithm. I don't care about the algorithm on this one. And it's just going to be me and anything I feel like saying.
You felt like you couldn't do that in the other one?
No chance.
There's no chance to do it? Then it would just like crash or what do you think would happen, you know?
I aggregated the wrong audience in order for me to share what I wanted to share. Because it was a part of me that was me before, absolutely. And then now I'm not that same person. But how do I drop hey, let me share with you my DMT lessons, whilst my audience is like, hey, I only am here to learn how to take self-portraits from you. Imagine that.
Why is this person talking about drugs?
Yeah,
I'm here to photograph.
I know. Imagine.
DMT lessons. Whoa.
Yeah.
like
It's pretty
really
intense,
good.
actually.
So what's your DMT lessons? I would like to hear them.
Yeah, please, can we talk about that?
Do it in a controlled setting with the right intentions. The end. and if you're mentally unstable, maybe consider not doing it for a while.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, you know, that part. There's an aspect to psychedelics that, like, I guess there's sometimes you just can't know, you know. There's maybe this person is just not developed enough so she can know that she has some sort of psychological problems or whatever, and it's very probable that psychedelics are gonna bring that up. So it is gonna be a risk at some level.
Yeah.
Just know yourself before you
Do
start.
you have any experience that you would like to share, or?
It was one of the worst experiences I ever experienced.
with DMT?
DMT.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Really?
It's been one of the biggest teachers of my life. It's been 3.5 years, and I finally think I closed the loop of trying to understand what it was for. 3.5 years.
That's crazy.
And at some points, I thought I was literally crazy. I thought I was lost it. I thought I don't know what is me, what is reality, because it shifts the way you will perceive the world forever. And I think what you said is really powerful, because there is this infatuation right now with psychedelics. Everybody's like, it's gonna save the world. For the right people, maybe, but let's talk about also the really, really bad part about psychedelics, and not make it as if it's a walk in the park. It's one of the most challenging things that people can do.
It's not a vacation.
No. It's not fun.
It's
and
not
I think
recreation.
A lot of people, nope. Like, I'm just going to go down to Mexico and do some ayahuasca. Good
Could
luck.
be great. Could be horrifying.
I mean, it could be in the end. I think I learned really good lessons. My sister also had a horrific ayahuasca experience, but now she's finally learning the lessons.
Yeah.
So if it could be good for most, but just know that it's going to be really hard.
It's gonna be tough. Yeah, and like a bad trip is also like maybe that's something that you had to get. Like there's still like a lot of things you can learn from a bad trip.
I think I had
a
to.
bad trip.
I think I had to have the bad trip.
Yeah.
I now know I had to have it. It actually probably saved my life.
There is no growth in comfort.
Exactly.
The wise man drops the wisdom again.
Why
I love
is
your nuggets. Oh.
But it's true.
Why
It's like-
are you gonna adapt if you work in your comfort zone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like pushing out of the comfort zone is like the greatest teacher, and it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable.
No. And sometimes it's
fucking
nice
hard.
to know. And sometimes it's so fun to be in your comfort zone.
Did you feel? Yeah, of course.
And then just be
yeah.
like, okay, I see myself stagnating, getting bored. Oh, bam, do it again.
Yeah.
But you have to seek it out. Otherwise, it's going to seek you.
Yes. Ooh.
I know. I just dropped a wisdom on.
You have that. You also have that. You're a guru.
Of course.
What's your new YouTube channel? Is it
Sorelle the Guru.
Are you writing a book?
Why not? I mean,
I'm an expert. Of course I'm writing a book. I've got a 12-step program.
Ooh.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I have to get back to this. Just do you know which kind of DMT that you were using? Was it like the 5-MeO?
No, it wasn't that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was from an acacia tree.
That's so interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
in Australia they have them just people that know what to do. They can distill it.
because like there's a lot of people that try 5-MeO and they have just a terrible experience.
Yeah.
Like experience death, and like they're just in white noise, like just this like a terrible experience for like an hour, maybe 12 hours, and
12 hours. That's not DMT though, is it?
it is, yeah.
Holy shit. Oh my God, my brain would be fucking fried. Mine was 3 minutes and it felt like eternity.
It's basically I fucked up.
Yeah.
So many people like I've seen, like I think Mike Tyson did it. He talked about it.
No, Mike Tyson loved it. That's one of his
Yeah, but
favorites.
he said like first time he did it, he was like, I fucked up because he felt that he was dead.
I think that's actually Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan too.
Yeah.
I thought I was dead. I thought I was never coming back.
Yeah.
I thought I was done. I was like, oh, that was a stupid way to end my life.
That's really interesting. That was just, I guess, regular
and
DMT. But,
people like you should try DMT, and then this is the experience. Like you want to experience thinking that you're actually dead.
Yeah, let's make an actual flyer for DMT. Do you want to lose all perception of yourself forever? Do you want to have 3 years of panic attacks after the event so you can digest what happened?
Is this really what happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and it's nice to be actually talking about it now because I just feel like I'm getting my voice. I also just started music.
Yeah,
let's
and
go.
it feels like it's opening up my ability to talk about so many things. This is what music does, though.
Expression.
It opens up your throat chakra.
Wow. I saw like your story, and you were like singing with the guitar, and then you got really surprised.
Yeah,
I saw that. I was like, oh, because you're really singing like you actually have it, you know. And I could also hear it when we were working together.
Yeah, you did mention a few. Was it you that mentioned a few?
Yeah,
times?
you were like singing, like doing cooking or something.
Yeah.
You know, doing breakfast that you're really good at. You know, like and like I loved your breakfast.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I loved it. So you were singing, and I was like, yeah, she got the voice. She could do it. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just had this thought come in. You knew me when you spent a week because you helped me edit one of my courses.
Yep.
You were in the house experiencing me during like the dark transition stages.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see a difference?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, how
you
can
feel, man?
just seeing you like being in a state of. You were in a state of basically have been, you know, really overworking yourself, you know, like really, really like pushing yourself to the limit, like to like that state of probably, I would guess like that, wasn't that like the end state of you like just really pushing your limit or something?
Yeah, that was it was like 18-hour days.
It was intense.
The last day, the day you left, when I still had 2 days left of editing, I think.
Yeah.
The day before the launch of that program, I was literally editing and bawling my eyes out because it was so horrible.
And this was like just before your like transition, basically, or
during. That's when I was like, I don't want to be doing this anymore. I don't want to push myself like this. What am I doing to myself? And then, thank God that stage of my life is over. Like I can take it a bit easier.
I mean, why are we working?
Why are we so intense? Why are humans so intense?
Yeah, let's like, why are you working? Like the thing is like now we're doing the podcast thing, but it's like it's kind of the first time, you know, I'm doing something that I'm actually passionate, you know, like music. I'm passionate about music, you know what I mean? But it's like broadcasting something that is maybe. Like, I think, you know, just you talking about this stuff, it's probably going to help some people. You know what I mean? Because we're so scared of sharing, you know, like, it's like kind of like if somebody's talking about a hard time or something, we feel like we should react in some kind of way when we don't really have to react. We just have to sometimes just listen and be like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get you.
I get you. You know what I mean? Sometimes people just need to get that. Yeah.
Fuck,
it's
man,
like
that's
not
really
like,
hard.
oh, you really should try doing, you know,
DMT.
You should probably do DMT and you know, meet this shaman, you know, do
you
meditation.
know what you need to do? You just need to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Like, you should do cold showers every morning and then you should go and do meditation and then you should probably, you know, go out walking for half an hour and you like have a whole program when the person that was like maybe sharing with you like, hey, I have had some hard times. You could just say, yeah, so what you've been going through, and it's like tells you what's up, and you're like, that's hard.
Yeah.
Oh, just like that acknowledgement of like, yeah, dude, wow, like just holding that, and you don't need solutions.
No advice, nothing.
Nothing.
We're all human,
and
and
it's
we're
so
not
powerful.
Because then the person just gets to fucking vent.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when you get it out, this is the thing. This is what I do, and Leon doesn't love it that much. I just bleh. And then as I bleh, I'm figuring out what's actually going on, because I had to get the initial thing that I thought was there. And then I keep talking. I'm like, no, that wasn't it. And I keep talking. That's not it. Then I keep talking. And eventually I'm like, that's what it is. And that's what happens when we talk. I think we get to go through the full emotional thought process and come out on the other side being like, and because we all have the answers within. So sometimes you just need to talk it out.
And it's also just having somebody listening.
Yeah.
Because you can feel when people are listening and when they're not. You know what I mean? Like you can actually feel it. You're like,
you can.
Like a person that is giving you so much advice or blah, blah, blah. That's, I mean, it comes from a good place. And I think it's also like such a motherly or fatherly thing to do. You know what I mean? So you learn it from your parents because your parents are always like, yeah, I mean, your parents are like always trying to fix, you know, the problems for the kid, you know, it's like, so you're like, oh, that's a normal thing to do. Like I try to fix the problems, you know, but sometimes, you know, you can't really fix the problem, but the best thing that you could do is just listen.
Yeah. It's part of fixing the problem, maybe. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's what you do when you go to a psychiatrist. You like, he listens. It's probably like the first page in the psychiatrist teaching book. Actually, listen to the people that come to you.
The only thing in the book, listen.
Listen.
Okay, I am qualified.
I'm sorry to bring this back to you, but you were talking about that bad trip. Like, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about it.
How was it? Like,
it was just unexpected. That's what it was. Because I was ignorant. I was just dumb. And then I just went into it. Someone offered it to me. Like, hey, do you want to try? I was like, I've heard DMT is great.
You hadn't tried it before?
No, I mean, I've hardly done any psychedelics.
Okay.
So I went from zero to hero. Like the most extreme thing you can do is DMT.
Yeah.
So because it also doesn't have the thing with ayahuasca, and in a space that holds you and they actually prepare you for it, there's an intention is set.
Yeah.
Then you have the 8 hours to digest what's going on. Whereas I was left at the end of it with this like, what the hell am I meant to do with this information? No one that I could talk to, like, who am I going to turn to? My family's not into any of this stuff. Like no one. I was like, for a year and a half, I just had to keep this in myself, because the other people I did it with, they have great trips. They saw the goddess and it was one of the greatest things they ever experienced. And meanwhile, I'm like bawling my eyes out every month or so, having this panic attack over what happened. And no one could tell me what was going on. So I was tortured for a year and a half, not having answers. And then finally I met a good group of people that I was like, this is what happened. They were like, oh, so perhaps this was what happened. Like this, in this instance, I needed advice. I did not need to be heard. And they gave me exactly what I needed. And I started being able to digest what went up. Now I can look back on it and it's like, oh, that wasn't that scary. But when if you've never closed your eyes, if you've never had your eyes open and planet Earth no longer exists, and there's only something else, and you've never seen anything like this before, how does a childish brain comprehend that the real world doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah. I would highly recommend that you do try some other stuff before you go to DMT.
Same. Now I know.
Psilocybin, for example.
I've microdosed. That's all I've done, microdosing. And then just, casual DMT.
How did the microdosing affect you? Did you feel anything?
I think it's just my rebellious sides, like, I'm on mushrooms. And that's about it.
And you're completely functional? Or?
Yeah, completely functional. Nothing really changes.
Like, you don't know what I just did.
Yeah, exactly. Like, walk past a cop, be like, ha, ha, ha. Those things that grow naturally in the ground that you somehow, for some reason, have said that they're illegal. Ooh, dangerous. I'm on them right now.
I think it's illegal to keep them dry.
Yes.
You can have them around if they're fresh.
I know.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I know. They had to find a way to make it illegal.
because it's everywhere.
I know they grow everywhere.
Yeah, one season though is.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, yeah. I mean.
But how was the bad trip? Was it like an external thing? Did you like just?
I just had a
somewhere,
gazillion entities that wanted to pull me in and suck me in, and I didn't know that the first thing about DMT or actually psychedelics in general is surrender. So I was fighting the whole time, and it felt like an eternity that I was fighting with these entities that wanted me, and I thought if I go with them, I'll never return.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't sound so scary, but I just don't.
People that have been there, they know. Like,
Yeah. Because it's one of the first things that you learn. You have to surrender and just.
So you've done a bunch of psychedelics.
Yeah, totally.
Is this the podcast now we're talking? I mean, no, we haven't.
I mean, we haven't gone into it in detail. I mean, we're gonna, and like this, totally. This is like one of our like favorite subjects, I guess. But from a very young age, I guess we were 18 when we made ayahuasca.
You, Arnar told me about you.
Yeah, man, we're
you're the crew.
We're the inner circle.
it was not only us, but like we have a legend in the game that we're not gonna mention because we don't know if he would like that.
Yeah, of course.
He has to come here and tell his own story.
Dude, that's so interesting because like you weren't exposed to it after the popularity of now everybody's like, oh my God, ayahuasca.
Yeah,
but you had this weird drive towards this plant that you knew nothing about at 18. Who in their right mind at 18 years old is like, I want to try ayahuasca? No, what?
We're like crazy.
But you went to the point of you couldn't find it here, so you made it yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, we had to get in touch with a shaman and learning that was willing to send it as well. Like,
send a package of ayahuasca.
Yeah, and he sent it like it was.
And like boiling it up and like getting the recipe right, and you know.
Yeah, and our friend he used a very old way to do it, like using citrus, and this is like you had to. It's
the worst kind to do it.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah, basically.
But it's not good.
I guess it's kind of good that we did it like the old school way the first time. It's kind of like sometimes stuff isn't supposed to be easy, you know.
Yeah.
And like us entering into this thing is kind of. I mean, I think it was good, but it's just funny. Like using citrus, you have to go through like 60 lemons. And
it totally changed. Probably it changed. The direction of all of our lives.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, changed the direction. I mean, like we're really young.
Reshaped your brain for sure.
Yeah, like I got like my experience was like I got stuck in a loop, and it was crazy because we were all stuck in the loop. Like my perception of what I felt like we were all stuck in a loop because. Like at least me and one of other friend. So we're having a conversation and we're saying stuff like blah 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 blah, and then we're filming it. We had like a camera filming us.
Yeah, candid,
you know. And then I was like, oh, is the camera on? And then I walk and I stand up and I go to the camera and it's like, oh, it's on. And then I go back and we have the same conversation again. and then I say, is the camera on? And then I go back to the camera and it's like, oh. Yeah, it's on. And then I go down and we have the same conversation again. And then I'm like, dude, we're in a fucking loop. What? Like, we're like out there, you know.
Did you watch the footage? Did you actually do that same thing? Was it?
Yeah, it was like some part of it was. Yeah,
it was just a bit repetitive and boring.
I think on the outside it doesn't look as exciting as what's going on.
Like watching the video is not fun.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
I wish I filmed my DMT. I had my camera. I just finished taking a photo. I could have filmed it. I wish I did because it was horrible for one. It was only 3 minutes, but I was like screaming, like sitting up and screaming at the top of my lungs. So I wish I actually, no, I don't want to relive that. Why would I want that? Fuck no.
I wish I had the camera with me. Like after that, we're never filming it.
Yeah, actually, I never ever want to see that shit. No, it's already enough in my mind. Yeah, but I can only speak about you, Adnat, because I don't know you, Mauni, as well. But there's a depth to you
Sometimes.
When you don't turn people off.
I think I have two sides. One that is super shallow.
Yeah, but that's the perfect balance, because if you were deep all the time, it's like, shut the fuck up. Whereas you just go into these ridiculous moods, but then you always know that your soul goes really deep. And I wonder if that would have been the same if you didn't go down this route.
I mean,
I think so. I think it would be the same.
Ah, okay.
Probably.
Yeah, from your, I mean, you've known him your whole life, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people are like, there's a person in your core kind of like that you don't really change that much, but like your presence, like your way of thinking and stuff like that you can certainly change that.
I think I have like this deep thing, because I'm interested in going deep in conversations, and I'm interested in about like feelings and, you know, like what, like just in people in general, you know what I mean? Like I'm really interested in
Substance.
Yeah, like
real stuff.
And then I go like, if I've been going, like if I have like, you know, the podcast, like sometimes we go like deep into stuff. Yeah. After it, I'm like, I just want some light energy here, and I was like, yeah, I just, you know, and then I just start bullshitting. So like, you can't really have a good conversation with me in that mode, because I'm like, yep, I just ate 5 liters of ice cream, and I'm thinking about drinking a gallon of milk, just to feel bad, just to feel horrible.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's like the total, like. It's a total...
Gotta balance yourself out.
Yeah. And I don't really like chit-chat.
No.
I mean, I don't... Okay, here's a legit question. Is there people... Because I don't know these people anymore. Do they exist? Because I think every time I have a conversation, I just love to go and slide in and be like, hey, tell me something real. So like a real... What is it? Super real.
Super real. Something super real.
So I like to get in there. But do people exist? Where it's just, hello, how's the weather? Do those conversations actually still exist? I don't know these people.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Of course.
I don't know.
You don't know.
It might seem that way, but is that like the true person? Like, is it just something that they're just conditioned to be because of some sort of old way of thinking, and just drowning herself in some sort of common courtesy and whatever?
Everybody likes the deeper, like when you get to know somebody in a deeper level. I think everybody likes it.
I think everybody needs it. I just met
needs it.
with my friend, and we just go deep all the time. We're just super fucking open and honest with each other. And this person was opening up, saying like they don't feel that they have the support right here, right now, that they can go as deep with people. And that's where the healing happens. That's the human connection happens. Without it, man, I can't even imagine.
Because it's like the same thing I was talking, because we're like I was saying before, with listening. So like you're saying, like people were giving me advice and I needed it. So one is listening, and then it's me listening to you, and the other one is you asking for advice. So I'm not giving you advice until you ask for it.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's
because then you are taking in that advice. But if I'm giving you advice and you like you're not asking for it, you just want somebody to listen to you.
Wow, that's such an easy... Oh my God, that's 101 listening. How to listen properly. Dude, you should write a book. It'll be 1 page.
Ooh.
No, honestly, but I think that's so important. It's like if someone comes to you, and especially in these times right now, I think a lot of people just want to be heard because we have so many different points of view, and we're being told that there's one singular good view, everything else is dangerous. But what a lot of people need right now is to just talk about the concerns that they have, whatever might be coming up, because by talking you heal it. So if step 1, someone's like, hey, I will listen to you chat, it seems like you've got something on your mind. Yeah, I do. Let them talk. Do you have any advice? Oh, actually. And that's when you give advice. Otherwise, just shut up. Oh my God, imagine if we just hurt each other.
It's extremely powerful. And the thing is, I know it with myself, because I like, and I think everybody does it. I tend to want to give the advice because I want to fix it.
Yeah.
So I have to be really self-absorbing and seeing like, okay, is that person actually asking for advice, or should I just listen to it? So it's a hard game, you know, because I'm like sometimes like, hup, I'm not saying anything.
Advice is so complicated as well, because like sometimes you have the perfect solution for somebody, but it doesn't matter in what state you can tell her or whoever, because it's like sometimes it's just stuff that you have to figure out yourself. Like it has to come from you, and then afterwards you can talk about it and like you understand. But it doesn't matter who tells you whatever. It's just something that you have to. It has to come from yourself. So like that you like really believe that it's true, basically.
Wow. And I think also reflecting. So if I go further with it, having the reflection of another person is like, because there's one thing that, you know, I feel like one powerful thing that I've done in my life is sharing my darkest secret with somebody that I can trust. So sharing my dark, why is it a dark secret in the first place? It's because I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of something. That's why it's a dark secret. It's like closed deep in my thing, you know, and there's something that I like is like I'm ashamed of, you know. So I keep it there, you know. But saying it, like telling that dark secret, and another person listening to it, and then like my experience was I told the person that I trusted about this secret that I had because I was ashamed of it. And that person said, oh, yeah, I did that too. And all my shame just like whoosh, left the building, because I realized, oh, I'm a human being. Yeah. I'm imperfect. People do imperfect stuff.
It's so interesting. Everybody does the same thing. They think you're like the only one that does this.
Wow.
And it's like, yeah, I did that all the time.
Oh man, that's good.
That's healing, you know.
Yeah, just voicing it. Otherwise it's stuck in you. Yeah. And then you can't, it's just, oh, wow. Yeah. I'm going to use that though. I'm going to take that lesson and just listen, because in romantic relationships, especially with 2020, it's been like, it is challenging, especially for a woman that's always traveled her whole life, like nonstop, than to be stuck in a country that's cold.
Welcome to Iceland.
And it's cold and it's been really dark because winter just finally wrapping up ish, because it's freezing cold and it's snow again. What the hell?
Fourth winter is a normal thing.
And so so my head was, anyway, I'm just going to try that with like Leon when he's like, hey, I don't like what you did. I'll be like, and just listen. And that's it. I'm just going to, that's going to be hard though. And this is what he said the other day. I actually listened properly because we were in the presence of someone else. And he was like, I feel like that was the first time you really listened in a while. And I was like, oh my God, I am such a fool, because sometimes it's not about, no, but you did this. It's just right now in this moment, they just want to speak. I'll say, I just won't say anything. And then if there's something else later down the track, be like, hey, by the way, what you said, it's not entirely true. Like, this is where I was coming from. And then they're not in that same headspace being like, you know, they just need a vent sometimes.
Yeah.
Steps.
And I mean, this is basically learning communication.
Yeah.
And
nobody teaches you these stuff.
No.
You know?
Why is it that schools are so bad at teaching actual things that you need to use in your life?
It's like one of the most important stuff, and I'm like learning it in my 30s.
Yeah, communication, finances, proper food, proper education, proper education, like how to actually learn properly.
Yeah, and like finding your passion.
Energetic work maybe as well. And instead it's like, here is algebra.
This is the most important thing that you have ever learned.
And then,
algebra.
And you never use it. That's the school system. Why are we in such a
it was a great system.
This is a topic for a 10-segment episode.
It was a great system when we needed this, but now we need actual human beings, not robots. And
we don't want change.
Yeah.
We don't want any change.
We want you to work in an office and provide us money. And
this has always been like this.
Yeah.
And we don't want this to change.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard being that person now. Being that person that doesn't want the change, it's hard, man. It's
I mean, you're in for a
dinosaur.
fucking ride because
Yeah,
we are
you're-
never returning back to
you're
what
gonna
was.
be disappointed.
You're
I'm
going to
so
be
sorry,
extinct.
dude. It's gonna be disappointed as fuck.
What do you think life is going to look like after all this? What's the changes? Yeah,
Wow.
what's it going to look like?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow,
How about that?
I could go on forever right now. But
I'm clueless.
One prediction.
Yeah, should I?
Yeah, give me one prediction. I want to know what your thoughts are.
We all should have one prediction.
You start first,
I start.
and then Moni, and then me.
Okay, like she just took over the podcast. Did you realize that?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I'm letting it happen.
Yeah.
I'm totally. I'm like, this is supposed to be about her. Come on,
I
let's
just
go.
don't like talking about myself very much. Sorry.
Yeah.
People get it. They can go to my YouTube. Hi, guys.
Yeah, if you want to learn something about Sorelle, just go to the new YouTube,
Yes.
not
don't
the
go.
old one.
Thank you. Very true.
If you really want to know, but if you want to learn about selfies, go to the old one. Yeah. Prediction for the future of the pandemic. I
No, the
think
world, not the pandemic.
the world.
Yeah, what's the world going to look
After
like
the-
after this?
Yeah. After it. I think there is going to be, and it's already happened. It's going to be some. What do you call it? Like people are going to be super. There's going to be some crazy. What do you call it? Fights or hvernig sem maður-
Riots.
riots? Yeah, and it's already happening.
Okay.
I mean, there's already riots going on that they're not in news. They don't come in news. They're
What are
like
the riots about?
like
Being
the
locked down.
Okay.
Being-
the lockdown, the
freedoms being taken
vaccines,
away.
the mandatory. Like they're actually talking about mandatory vaccination,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and
Spain.
there's riots because of that.
Mhm.
It's already happening.
Mhm.
So I think it's just like I think every time there is, you know, when it starts rioting, like there's going to be riots and there's going to be like, you know, a fight because they're basically taking away our freedom in a sense, doing it really smartly. I have to give them
It's a very clever system, isn't it?
I have to give them applause for that. Great tactic you're
Yeah.
going for.
For your safety.
Dirty applause
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Dirty.
I mean, it's a business plan. That I mean, these are business people. They're doing a fucking excellent. Well, there's
They're
the riots
doing
are
business stuff.
the riots are getting in the way. That there's a few things that they didn't expect from.
I think they
People.
probably expected it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like if I would be a business person, you know, trying to sell my product or whatever, and I'm forcing it on people, I'm gonna be expecting, okay, there's gonna be like riots, but
So how many billions of dollars do we
but-
have to deposit to make sure that people take it? what incentives?
I mean, they are chilling in their houses doing their shit. Like we're going to a conspiracy kind of
It's
stuff.
not conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean, it's
There's
happening.
It has to be.
It's happening
now.
and the thing is that is crazy. Why isn't it in the media? Because the people behind it
Yeah.
is the people that own the media.
Exactly. It's pretty fucking obvious.
It's
But
obvious.
can I redirect the question
Yeah.
to after everything's calmed down? Because I think a lot of people know, and what I've noticed is that I don't want to. I myself was in 12 months of fear over this because I knew what was coming. I was like, this is clearly an overstepping of control right here. It's clearly that. But I want to know after everything's calmed down.
I tend to think positively.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like I say like okay, there is a eruption going on,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
So there is a volcanic eruption going on, but I'm talking about the eruption just in the energy,
Yeah.
you know, in the world. So like before the eruption happens, it's going to be intense.
Yes.
And after it, it's going to be a release. So I hope, like I truly hope it's going to be a good change. You know, I generally don't believe that, you know, the people with the money, like if you call the money the power, are gonna like stand a chance against a bunch of people. You know what I mean? Like there's so more people that don't have the money and I don't really believe the money is the power. I believe the people is the power.
Oh, I love you.
You know, that's my, how I look at it.
Yeah.
Because the money is the delusion of power, really.
Fact.
So what's one beautiful outcome that you want to see in the future? Something that people can like hang on to as well as a vision, because you're a visionary.
Thank you. That's a nice thing to say. I hope that just people will be, more, realize that they are going to be more capable of doing things that they're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
We all have different passions, and I'm so interested in people like yourself that are like following their heart of their own passion, and like you even like talking about that state of going into the YouTube game and then starting to do stuff because it's working as what the people want, but then going into that journey that you're in now of like what is that I actually want.
Yeah.
And that's super powerful.
Because we need more people that are there doing what their heart is calling them
Yeah.
to do.
And
like
that's
what a world that would be.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's like the people that, because I am doing it, Maun is doing it, you're doing it, more of our friends are doing it. And that's the people that I connect to.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking awesome. You don't need money for it. You really don't need money for it.
No.
Arne Gunnar is a total cutie. You're a very beautiful person.
I just want to look at it positively. I hope that more people find that. I want that for.
This is just the exploration of like ideas, really.
Yeah,
we're speculating here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping.
Yeah, but that makes sense
agree.
because then this whole thing has also made death quite prominent. We're like, oh, people die. I think that's made the world aware that our life is finite. So why would I waste it on something that I don't like? A lot of people have quit their jobs. Last year, they were like, why was I doing that? This is ridiculous. And now I have so many messages all the time of people like, I quit my job. I'm doing this now. I love it so much.
How do I build a brand?
But somehow they're finding a way, because once you have that passion, it's like lock and load, baby. I'm going to find a way.
I mean, there's so many people that are now like not working and they are getting money from the government.
Yeah.
They're not getting much money, but they're not finding a job. So they're like, what should I do with my time?
Yeah.
This has been fucking 1.5 years now,
Yeah.
So they were like, why shouldn't I just do something that I love?
Yeah.
And then they like the government is actually funding that for them, because they're getting their salary from that. But hopefully that builds up into a business or, something that they can do and they are passionate about.
Yeah,
Yep.
hopefully.
That's what I want for people in general. Happiness.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Mauni?
Yeah,
Is it my turn now?
Yeah, it's Maun's turn.
I'm intrigued because this is such a big topic of conversation.
I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna jump headfirst into the rabbit hole. Okay.
Are you talking about the reptilian aliens?
No,
taking
I'm
over
not
the
gonna go
world?
there. But I mean, we're gonna integrate with Neuralink, and thought process is gonna expand exponentially, and hopefully we'll be compatible with the AI that's gonna emerge, and hopefully the AI will just work with us and
not kill us.
Not kill us, and we won't become obsolete to the AI, and with the AI we can build basically a utopia and a perfect world, and we can start colonizing space and doing whatever the fuck we want.
Pow. I mean, that is also a possibility. We're definitely speculating with that. So many different
I
worlds.
believe this is a eventuality, and but there's a bunch of factors in there. I don't feel like we should be going
What is
into a lot
I know
of
this is forever. But what is to say we're not in a simulation right now?
There's enough evidence to suggest that we are in a simulation, and as there is evidence that we're not in a simulation. The thing is, what does it matter?
I like that.
Does it change your day tomorrow? Does it change your day today?
I'm gonna stop.
The answer is no. If we're in a simulation right now,
I'm just gonna think that we are in a simulation.
Yeah, after DMT, I honestly do think so, because that feels like reality, and this feels like it's the stimulation, the simulation.
Yeah.
So now that's my reference point. I'm like, oh, okay.
I feel like mastering the simulation is like also a good thing.
It's like a game.
Yeah, you could do it. The Matrix. Yeah.
You know, the
Wanna
Mario Kart.
I'm gonna master the simulation.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You're gonna become Neo. You can just bend reality.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What is your? You have to now. It's your
Is
turn.
Now
it
it's
finger
your
say
turn.
SAR or SOR?
Nah, you can't
SOR.
deflect from
SOR.
this.
Oh, you started it's for me. I'm kidding.
It was. I put your. I got a tattoo of Sorelle's.
First 3 letters.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's completely obsessed with you.
Besties for life.
I'm just super smooth with it.
And just don't fucking come to my house.
She has a gun. Many guns.
Many guns. Huge lions.
My idea of the future, I think it's going to be a split society, which is funny enough. And some will choose to go down the path of being integrated into the control society that we are obviously heading down into. And people will want that because they will want the gadgets and the good things and the bling bling and the money and the fame. And that's always been a driver. And I think for a lot of people, that's still going to be a driver.
Pros
and they're
cons.
going to completely buy into that, be like, I'd rather this.
Mm.
But then there's going to be communities that are...
Purists.
that don't want that are like, wait, I really liked nature and I actually want to connect with that more. I want to be in nature. I want to grow my own food. I don't want to have a dried packet food that I mix with water and this is my, like the Matrix fucking, there you go, that's your food. Which I think will be in the electronic world, and then there'll be the real nature world that people like, I just want to have human connection. And it would be nice to have a bit of a balance between the worlds, but I think the balance will come from different communities out there living quite opposite ways, because I don't think the people that are living in the natural communities will be allowed to be part of the electronic communities unless they buy in, and there's going to be a price to pay for that.
You think so? You think it's going to divide like that?
Yeah, I do think so.
Yeah, maybe.
And I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, you'll just have to make a choice,
I feel like it's going to emerge.
Okay.
That's what I hope, at least.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if there's a good or bad in...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like and rather than, division, because, is that the right word? I don't know.
Division.
Division, yeah. So, like, because we're already divided.
We're
already there.
We are, but only, I swear to God, we're only divided in the media. Because when I speak to people on the face to face, I don't have those conversations with anyone. It's the media that's like,
Everybody's divided. We all hate each other.
everybody's racist, everybody's this. And it's like, no, it's not. That's not true. Because when I speak to people, I don't experience this. That's not my reality.
Yeah.
And I'm yet to meet these people in real life that are so black and white. So I don't think it's actually real. I think it's online division, not heart-to-heart connection.
I feel like the funny thing is that I actually say it, a polite person in reality, but a fucking douchebag online.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have filters. We haven't gotten to that point that we've developed, like, because when we talked face to face, we're picking up like body mannerisms, facial expressions, a whole lot of things,
Energy fields.
and just, like, we can go so far.
Yeah.
But online, there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's just your words,
written words, and
versus
words
the
are
other
what,
words.
7%
Yeah.
of the communication.
So I think it's like, I understand people going crazy, like when they just have this and no reference points, and I think it's understandable.
I think it's crazy because, like, okay, people do a mistake. You do a mistake and there's a media coverage about it, and then you read the comments and the people said this person should die, they should take this person and chop their head off
And
or
burn
kill
them alive.
burn them alive. That would be so interesting to take a person that write that comment, meeting that other person that did that mistake and saying it to their face.
yeah, that wouldn't happen.
It would be so hard for that person when they actually meet them.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, oh, we should chop your head off.
Yeah. They couldn't say it.
It's like,
because you're facing someone
I mean, it's fucked up just to say it.
It's so incredibly horrific, but it's easy. And there was an episode on YouTube that I saw of someone going in to find these haters, and they just interviewed them. And this was so fascinating for me. It helped when I was going through initial stages of when you start growing, you do start getting hate. You have to get hate. If you don't get hate, you're doing something wrong. But it hurts initially. It hurts so much. So this episode really helped because it showed me the behind the scenes of these haters, and they were so unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, they were so unhappy. And this was their entertainment, was just to hate on others.
Mm-hmm.
And if I think about, would I ever write a mean comment? No. What would it take for me to write something that horrific?
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to be severely, so horrifically unhappy with my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You must be suffering because you feel terrible and you just want to project terribleness.
Yeah.
The kid that is always fighting in school, punching another kid, there's something happening.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are just kids.
Yeah.
It's the same. If the guy is in the traffic and he's like screaming out of the window and like knocking the horn and blah, 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 there's something happening.
Something went wrong in his day.
Yep.
Totally.
Or his life.
Or his life.
Yeah, exactly.
So like we don't react in those kind of ways if you feel good.
Yeah, no.
If you feel good, you're not writing a hate comment.
Yeah, and that's why, I didn't understand this concept for so long, and now it makes so much sense after last year, that if you take care of yourself, if you heal yourself, you're gonna heal the world. And I didn't get it. I was like, there's no way that focusing on myself, my pain, taking care of just doesn't, that cannot possibly save the world, but it does. Because how you present yourself to the world will change everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to change either your friends, your family, whoever you come in contact with. If you greet them with a great energy, it might shift their entire day, and then they'll shift their entire communities or their family, and it just ripples out.
Absolutely.
Like change absolutely comes from healing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you going to help somebody if you're completely broken yourself?
Exactly.
There's no way.
There's no way.
And you're also you just connect to you connect to those people. You attract people that are willing to change, because if you have changed a lot, like the what do you call the gurus or the people that have mastered, most of the gurus don't even want to call themselves the gurus, you know?
Yeah,
it's
if
like
they're real gurus. No, I don't.
If they are real gurus,
They don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
they don't, like, they are not in a state of that ego of
exactly.
like come to
That's
me
what I
and
mean.
I'll help you. They're like,
Yeah.
I'll help you.
They don't want the fame.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
want, like, I wouldn't say like not the fame,
Yeah, but
but of
you
course they
understand
want to
what I'm saying.
impact more people. Like if you go in that selfless state, you want to impact
Yeah,
as
but
much
they
people
don't
as you
want to
can.
glorify themselves. As
Yes.
It's not them. They're just the vehicle. They're the tool for assistance.
Yeah.
Like Nikolai.
For example.
He is a tool for assisting people. And it's beautiful because he's there to serve. He's not. And that's the great thing. That's coming from a space of like, I am here to just serve. It's not about him at all.
It's the human element in that. Okay, I'm here to serve, but then I need also to charge my human element.
Yes.
Because I think, it can also, if you start becoming this guy where people are always asking you,
give.
Yeah, taking away from you, or
Yeah.
like you're gonna have to also find that balance of like, who is not asking me for something.
Yeah.
I need some people that are not asking me for something, because I'm gonna consider them my friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That are
Yeah.
just my friends. They're not asking me. Of course, we give and receive, and it's just a normal thing in a relationship. But I'm saying that they're not there because they are broken, or they're not there because like I'm going to teach them meditation or teach them my techniques or whatever. So I think that's also one of the things. Like most of the guys that I like go to, I'm like, whoa, this person is amazing. And if I see that the person is allowing them to be human, like themselves to be human, then I'm like, I love them even more. It's like I see them maybe screaming in the phone.
Yeah.
It's like, you got damn it, right? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, he's human as fuck. And then he's like teaching meditation.
Yeah. Drinking a Pepsi,
Yeah.
drinking a cigar, or
The
whatever.
total balance, because when no one's pure,
Yeah.
no one, everybody has those things. And it's like, if you ever expect anyone to be perfect, like, whoa, have you looked at yourself?
We are human.
No one is capable, and it would be so boring
If I
we
meet,
were all
We are
if-
inherently flawed as humans.
if I basically meet a guru that don't show me this, I think something is wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Run.
Run away.
Yeah.
There's something not right there.
Yeah. And I love that. I love when I see people that I admire and they're just like, fuck this, like swearing rude. I'm like, wow, I met through my journey, I obviously met a lot of people that I looked up to a lot. And I was like, I can't wait to meet them. I'm going to be their best friend. They're going to love me. And then this is young ignorance, bro. I met them and I was like, oh, you guys are really fucking boring or shit, or just like not what I thought. And the mask that they wear. Wow. I was like, wow. So I fell in love with the online persona of you, not actually who you are. And you are just really good at faking who you are. I don't want to be your friend anymore. And it was really nice because now if I meet anyone famous, like I have nothing towards it. I'm not pulled towards it. I used to be so obsessed with meeting these successful people. There is no one that I want to meet anymore. Unless, like, I want to meet people that are people and I have a connection with. I do not care what your status is. Don't fucking care. I do not look at celebrities of any sort anymore and be like, wow, you're amazing. I don't follow celebrities anymore. No one, I can't, because I look at you and I'm like, why would I admire someone that I don't even know?
That's actually a question that comes up when you like say that. That must be a little bit difficult when you start to have following.
To do what?
To filter out people.
Filter out people.
Yeah, like
Who's my friends and who's not?
yes.
Oh, I can sense it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy as fuck.
Yeah, it's easy as fuck for you.
Yeah, it's super easy. I know who's real and who's not. I can instantly sense who I want to be friends with and who I want to be surrounded by. It's not hard for me at all. I've always been able to do
don't
that.
feel like crowded because like you're gonna attract like larger people or whatever.
No, not at all. And I'm often, I don't have it. Like even if I meet certain people, they're like, oh my God, I love you. And they like come up to me. I will be able to sense who I will actually have a connection with beyond that. Sometimes it's just a simple exchange of like, thank you so much. It's been a great day. So yeah, thank you for following. And sometimes I'm like, we're just going to be friends. And that's it. It's the end of that. It's really, really cool.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, because I think some people will struggle with that.
Yeah.
I've already heard I think maybe people that get really famous young,
Yeah.
it's going to be
I don't consider myself famous at all. Like, does not even slightly. So this question, I don't think it applies to me.
Yeah, but I'm not saying okay, you don't consider as famous, but you like compared to Iceland.
Yeah.
How many people are in Iceland?
Yeah, true. 375. Is it 375 now?
I think something
It's
like
almost
300 something thousand.
Yeah.
It's 300.
All the
Yeah,
Icelanders.
so all Icelandic plus some.
Not
plus
all
actually.
the Icelanders, everybody that lives here.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. So everybody that's.
I mean, you're a
times 4 or 5.
Like if 20,000 people in Iceland know who you are, you're a famous Icelander.
Yeah. But it's funny because I don't think people see me like it's me and Leon sometimes talk. Like you see these influencers that are written up in the newspaper about their breakups that they've had and they've got like 20,000 Instagram following and then I'm never part of it. So I don't think people, because I am a foreigner that lives here, so I don't think I'm quite considered to be a person that lives here. You know what I mean? So no one really cares, which makes it even easier because I'm literally just a chick and it's so nice. And I do consider myself like if someone said you're famous, it doesn't make any sense to me. I just happen to put really cool photos online and I'm a really good marketer. And I like a lot of people and people like me. I have to say that. Because I'm awesome. No. No.
There we go.
My mom just recently told me that when I was young, I just loved everyone. And that my nickname was Słoneczko, which means sunshine. And And I genuinely thought for a long time that I must be twisted, because when I meet people, I just like them and I will instantly just be like, they're going to be awesome. And they really have to prove me wrong otherwise. So I think it's a nice space to come from, to be like, I will like you. And unless you fuck me up, then I'm still going to like you, because I believe that you're just awesome.
Even though they fuck you up.
No. If they fuck me up, then I will just be like, ow, you must be hurting. Okay, bye. Unless they need my help, then they'll ask for advice, etc., etc.
I mean, you can't be there for everybody.
No.
That's impossible.
It's really impossible.
That's why you got to nurture your friends. That's another thing. Learning how to be a good friend. That's a skill that we should be taught in school again.
Ooh. I agree.
Because that's also difficult. And no one tells you how to do that properly.
Yeah.
Being a good friend.
Yeah, just and learning how to like value it. Like there's really often people are completely blind to what they have, you know, just obsessed with what they don't have.
Yeah, that's true. What do I don't have? I haven't even thought about it for such a long time.
This is way too much, guys.
Sorry, conversation with Sorelle, a YouTuber that does advanced selfies. Next minute, we're like fucking deep. This is the real me.
Could I redirect a little?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about, so like you've never tried DMT again after?
No, I haven't, no.
Okay. But do you think that like changed the way that you looked at your like career and?
Not at the time when it happened, because it happened just as I was starting to grow my YouTube channel, and it was basically my entire time that I was on in the big spotlight. I was dealing with trying to understand what happened, but I was so busy, and I think being so busy you can't really face off with what happened. Yeah. So I was just getting the side effects, which was the panic attacks. And I never used to, when people used to say panic attacks, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Now I know. Now I can relate to people when they say that. Far out. So I just get those, and what was I saying? I just got distracted. I don't want.
But like, because you're obviously like not feeling great, like,
What was the original question that you asked?
If you think that trip had a influence on you.
Oh right, no, I think like, now it does. Now that I've digested it, now I can consider it as a lesson. Whereas before it was just trauma that I had to deal with, just to digest what the hell that was for, and it changed my brain completely forever. And I think it did make me a better person. I was very much in the ego, so much in the ego for such a long time. And now I'm starting to thankfully I've just embarked on a journey of learning what it's like to be human more than a machine, because I was a machine. I was definitely a machine. So it's nice to, learn about feeling and being like, I'm also so thankful to be a female. I love it, but I've never enjoyed the process, because it is, we live in a yin and yang society, and it's driven by one, which is more what they consider the masculine force, which is not dependent on if you're a male or female. It's dependent on the energetic force, the feeling behind it, which is in the society we live in. It's go, 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 hustle, 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 more, produce. Yeah. Whereas the feminine aspect, or yang, whichever one that is more the flow, the chaos, the beauty, the creativity. I'm just started this journey, and I feel like I'm finally learning what my feminine energy is, and it's just such a fun process. I'm wearing dresses slowly now. I'm wearing white. You probably noticed. I'm wearing like white. I never wear white. Oh, okay, you didn't notice. I never wear white, but I just got, all of a sudden I got this like, I cannot wear dark clothes. I feel physically...
You were always wearing black.
Yeah, I physically feel uncomfortable when I wear black now, and I'm switching out my wardrobe because I cannot put dark clothes on myself. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm turning into a guru.
God damn it. Wearing this hemp pants, wearing beads and, like really saying spiritual quotes all the time.
That makes you awake, #work.
I'm going to use that hashtag on all my posts from now on.
It means your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So everybody knows. Super woke. Just wake up, kids.
Yes.
Stop
That's
being a
such a
sheep.
toxic term right now.
I know. I hate it. Like, ugh. Sheep, work, like, fuck off.
Like, what are
Human,
Mm-hmm.
different levels. We're okay at every level, just on our own journeys.
Yeah. Do you think you'll ever experiment with DMT again? Or
The reason I think that it's either yes or no. I thought I'd have to embark on it again. Last year I was lucky enough finally to be able to microdose mushrooms again, because anything that I did with any types of substances, even for a while it was even alcohol, anything that slightly took me out of my normal state of consciousness, I freaked the fuck out. So last year I was doing microdosing and I was bawling my eyes out as I was taking a tiny sip of psilocybin mushrooms, because I was so afraid of seeing what I saw again. And when I did the first little bit, I was like, oh, it just I had to hit that threshold and not be so afraid anymore on the other side. And once I did it, I was like, oh, that wasn't so bad, because it was a microdose. It literally did nothing, but it took that edge off, like, I guess, psychedelics and being out of my headspace that I can control. Because when you're there, you can't control your headspace. It's gone. And that's, I think I've had to learn to release control, obviously. That was one of my lessons. But I said to myself that I think I'll have to do psychedelics again on a bigger scale so I can face off and realize that it's not all that bad. But I'm wondering if I'll be able to figure out a way of actually getting to that state without needing to use plant medicine. Because I'm also very open to that idea, because I think it's a really... Most people are now so fascinated with, it's always like this, society's always like this, one tiny magic pill, like, let's fix it. But I would love to know the principles behind breath work, energetic study, Tai Chi, all of these more grounded principles that I will be able to control better than just like ingest something, what happened, and then come out on the other side not knowing what the fuck happened.
Yep. And it's really, it is like, for me, like, you know, because I had, like, you know, experience with psychedelics and all that DMT, mushrooms, all that ayahuasca.
Can't confirm.
But now, like, I feel like exactly the same way as you're talking about it. There is a different way to alter, like, you know, higher states of consciousness without taking any substance. Though I would say there's a lot of healing that you can be used. Maybe
it's a tool.
Maybe a turning point. You know what I mean? Like, to, if you come, like, for me, like, when we're like really young and we're doing the ayahuasca, it's a turning point for me, like, knowing, okay, life is more of an adventure. There's something actually more to it than just 9-to-5 work and being a machine, like you're talking about. Oh, being a human being and actually mastering that. And that's the same thing. Like, I didn't really believe in the breathwork stuff before, you know, I tried it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, just trying something, because there's so many times where I've just said, like, no, it doesn't work, but I've never fucking tried it. You know what I mean? Like, how many people do you think does that? You know, just as, like, it's so easy to judge it and say, like, how is that gonna, breathing, what do you mean? How is breathing going to help me? I've taken breaths all my life. But
I'm breathing right now.
Yeah. and then, like, me, like, I've done, like, some of the breathing techniques where I really, like, I trip out. Like, I really trip out.
I've done that.
And when that happens, you're like, okay, what the fuck? I did not expect that, you know, tripping out on oxygen.
Yeah, but that's what I'm interested
naturally,
by. Naturally,
no substance.
It's a weird one.
Because it means a little bit more self-mastery. And because I am in a beautiful, lucky, beyond belief position where my time is freed, which is, I guess, the game that a lot of people want to get to, is free up your time. And I have done it. And in this stage of my life, obviously we're not immune. I'm not saying that this is going to be forever, but therefore I have to grab this opportunity and learn these skills, because once you're back in the rat race, you don't have as much time. Time is, as you said, the most valuable asset. So I have the time, and I would like to know the principles of upgrading myself, or at least not even upgrading. It's like more of an understanding, inner understanding of myself because I have the chance. So I might as well. And not everybody gets the chance to have that much time that they can study this much because a lot of them are bought into the model that you have to do the 9 to 5. But we know a lot of people also, just as an FYI, like the people that don't have a lot of money can still figure out a way to do this. Just in case people are like, oh, you are only because you're rich, you can do this. It's like there's also different ways.
I'm not rich.
No.
Yeah, but a lot of people just always, now I get this comment, it's like, oh, you don't get it because you're rich or this shit. It's like, well, when I was poor, and I was like really poor, there was ways that I found to work for me, and I just don't like that to be the immediate excuse of everything, but without just being like, can I self-reflect and see if there's a possibility within this, or am I just shutting off a possibility for growth and evolution and change because my excuse is stopping me from exploring this idea further?
That's the difference between a rich thinking and poor thinking. Because like rich thinking is basically
I can do this.
Yeah, like it's challenging your brain. That's rich thinking, right?
You're so wise, God
like,
damn it.
Like you are like, even like, okay, like you could say that you're rich, but rich thinking is being rich. For me, like that's how I think about it. Like I can have no money in my bank account, but I can have rich thinking.
I love that.
And that's like problem solving, you know, not putting those obstacles. Oh, you're like, or you're rich. That's why you can't like understand how it is for me to be, you know, like I can't do what you're doing because I don't have the money. Like if you have rich thinking, you're not thinking about the money. You're thinking about how can I do this without no money?
Yeah, because that's what gets you to the actual physical riches in the end as well, is the alternative thinking. All it does when someone is like, puts the excuse in front of it, or even worse, these days it's not their own personal excuse. It's like, oh, but other people don't have that opportunity, so they start jumping in for other people instead of just like, hold up, let me take care of my life situation right now and try to master that, and then give a helping hand or support to the people that otherwise might not have it. Me complaining is doing literally nothing. I'm stopping myself from exploring my own possibilities in my own life. And when you're empowered in your life, that is when you can do the most good. So instead of trying to drag down people that have made it and thinking, oh, they're a piece of shit because now they don't, like, they're now rich and they don't understand. It's like, okay, let's celebrate them because these are the people that have the capacity to make change. It's like, and yeah, hold them accountable to a degree, but don't come at them as like, you're a piece of shit. It's because the more people we can bring up, everybody's just going to help each other up, like lifting, grabbing each other's hands and pulling each other up.
I also believe in, you know, if you don't have as much resources, you are going to be able to make like sometimes more than when you have the resources because you get more creative.
Yes.
Like it's like when you block your resources, you like, it's like when you're cooking something and you just have like you look at the fridge and you're like, I don't have any food, and then like, what do I have?
Yes.
You know, and you make the most amazing meal that you have made for a long time.
You make a nail soup.
Yeah, you like, and you're like, how the fuck did I do this? You just got more creative with the less resources.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like
boundaries create freedom and create beautiful expression as well.
Yeah.
No, I take back that boundaries create freedom. That's a different conversation, but that also can be true. But yeah, boundaries can expand your creative thinking.
I think Nikolai could confirm this.
Let's call him. No,
I mean, he's teaching prisoners.
Yeah.
Actually, because the prisoners now he
completely confined.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said that the prisoners in prison are feeling more free than they felt on the outside. They can feel more free. I mean, internally, I'm saying, and of course they want to be outside more, but for now, that's where they are. So they're making the most of that, which just shows that freedom and feeling of freedom does come from within.
They can feel more free in the prison than
the apparent
people
free
that are slaves to their salaries.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we can be slaves to our minds because the mind is like, oh, you need this, you need to do this, oh, you can't do this because you don't have this, blah, blah, blah. But when you start training your mind and like actually knowing that you can be in control of your mind, you can say, I'm not going to be controlled by this excuse, or I'm not going to be controlled by, you know, whatever, you know what I mean?
Emotions.
Your emotions, or Yeah, because we can't be so much in control of that, you know. But it means a lot of courage. You gotta have courage to do it. You gotta be
confidence.
You're gonna have to trust in the universe or whatever that it would provide.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't it provide if it has provided for you to this day?
Yeah.
Provided for you and provided for others.
Yes.
If it's done for others, it can do for you. And it's amazing because also what you fucking focus on does manifest. And it's, yes, there's different other aspects that come into play. But even me, I was just literally my energy just shifted to, I want to go to South or Central America very soon. I just got this like, boof, I need to go. And then I called it coincidence for a second when I just started attracting all these people and brands and everything that was just like Mexico, Tulum. And I was like, this is kind of weird. But then if I think about it, it's because my perception of what I was thinking about shifted. So I started putting out feelers in my field of awareness towards going to South or Central America. And then it started showing itself and I started paying attention because I started looking for it. Whereas before, if I wasn't looking for it and it didn't focus on it, you can't bring something into your life if you're focusing on the opposite, or you just can't. You have to like focus on the thing that you want, because then you are present to the opportunities that present themselves when you're in that headspace.
Yeah, you see them.
You actually can see them. It's not it doesn't have to sound like manifesting, like woo-woo stuff. It's more like I am thinking about this thing, and then because so much happens in your life. Every single day, so much happens in the world. But if you bring your focus to this thing that you're like, oh, this would be nice, then your awareness is now more tuned to seeing what can help you benefit or make that thing happen.
Yeah. And you're broadcasting it as well.
Yeah.
You're going to pull in like-minded people.
Yeah,
same
exactly.
mission.
Because you're just constantly seeking out that conversation or whatever.
100%.
Because it is also because you pull towards people that actually, like, people will surprise you. You're like, what? Are you also into that?
Yeah.
And you're like, and then it opens like different doors.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like connection to people, you know, that's why like I say like a lot of people that, you know, maybe come from a dark background and then they start changing, like the prisoners or something. And then you see those people 3 years after and then you're like, holy shit, like because we are like, if we want to change in a positive direction, we are capable of doing it.
Definitely.
And it's like crazy if you are in that if you're projecting that I want to change to the better, I want to better myself, I'm willing to look into the dark places of my closets
Yeah, which is scary.
and clean them.
Yeah.
So scary. So uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not fucking
I just picked up on something I really need to work on. I'm faced off with myself because I did something on the way here that I was really not proud of myself. I was like, why did I do that? And it was past conditioning, so I need to unravel it now. I was seeing a certain type of person, and racism is real because of preconceived ideas previously of, anyway, I sound like a horrible person, but now I'm going to work on it. In my memory from my encounters, I just sound like a horrible person. But there's been people that have been very sleazy towards me, and it often has come from one particular place. And so I've immediately associated, when I was driving here, I saw these people and I was like, I just wanted to run away. And I was like, why did I do that? And it's just past conditioning. So now I have to look at myself and be like, if you don't eliminate this, you're going to keep acting that way. So I have to look at myself and say, that's bullshit. That story's done. It's not all people. I had a few bad experiences with a certain group of people. I need to erase that story now. And I guess that's, that's self-reflection. I'm not fucking perfect. I've got such a long way to go. And it's every day I'm willing to look at myself and even now publicly admit I have racist tendencies and I have to fucking work on that. And yeah. And I'm not very racist, okay? It just happens every now and again. But real. I also want to, I know that people aren't perfect, but if you're willing to work on it, voila. That's how we make change.
You don't have to put any excuses. Like we all have that prejudgment, you know,
course.
you like that's who we are, you know.
Yeah, it's
We're
so
programmed.
uncomfortable
This
to.
is part of our like survival instinct.
Yeah, I know,
It's a defense mechanism.
Because you made a judgment according to whoever was coming into your tribe. So you had to do that and quickly assess, is it good, is it bad? Plus then my previous experiences from life, I had certain people cracking onto me, like really uncomfortable experiences, borderline sexual harassment. So I created this story in my head of what it was. And now I have to unravel that. And especially bringing this up now because racism is such a sensitive topic. I'm coming from a space of like, I don't want to be racist, but I know I still have racist tendencies, and it's from like that's
from experience though.
Yeah, but it doesn't make an excuse. But
No,
I am gonna work on it and try to return back to the state of being like this innocent little kid. And I just want to reinforce again, I'm like very little racist. It sometimes just fucking gets me with.
No
I
excuses.
love my brothers and sisters. I love my brothers and sisters. And now I feel ashamed, but I'm going to put it out there anyway because I'm fucking human and I make mistakes.
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
I wouldn't even like I wouldn't even consider it as like if you have, you know, if you have
a fleeting thought,
if you have like a traumatic, you like even seeing it is such a healing thing. And being able to talk about it, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not perfect. Like nobody is fucking perfect. Like no one.
I think but that's like admitting a problem is a first step to fixing it as well. So obviously,
Yes.
and I'm one of those people that unfortunately I don't do well with keeping secrets and not sharing my truth. So I could have easily just shut my mouth then, but I was like, fuck, I'm following through. Why am I saying this? Next minute, here I am. But I am excited for this journey because now I get to reflect on myself and improve myself, and it's cool. And yeah, fuck. I love my brothers and sisters.
This is how you fix a thought process. Like the first thing is just seeing that it's happening, like identifying it.
Yeah.
And then you can understand where it's coming from, and then you can make a real change, like a real change in your thought process.
Yeah.
So like this is how we should be dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a secret, you know.
Yeah, and that's why I think the human experience is really nice when we can hear each other out. Because if I share this with other people, and if I actually said the story, because now people have obviously, whoever's listening might just paint a beautiful picture of, you know, Sorelle being racist and spitting on someone. And really, I was just next to someone. I looked at someone, didn't smile, and I was like, why didn't I even smile? That was really shit. And it just brought me back to all these experiences where I was like, yeah, I was physically touched by someone that I really didn't want to be. And it happened a few times by people that I wasn't trying to engage in a sexual or that kind of an environment. And it brought me back to that. And I was like, okay, that was the past. I need to fix this. So that's all it was. And
I kind of love when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like there's so like that has happened. Many times where I judge a person.
Yeah.
I see a person and I'm like, that dude is a fucking asshole. Like, and I'm like in my mind, I'm thinking that. I'm like, this person is a fucking douchebag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm watching the person maybe, and
I do this all the time.
and I prejudge that person like totally, and then that person start talking. You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, wait a minute, and then I'm like, and then I start talking to that person, and I'm like, and I have like this total bond.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
woo!
That's an awesome person, and I'm so happy
totally
to be
wrong.
wrong. Yeah. I'm so happy to be wrong, and then it also gives me that reflection of that judgment of me, like judging that person, and like actually asking like, why was I judging him? Like, where did it come from? Probably it comes from fear. It comes from me, like, you know, afraid of not being seen, or some other people, like, you know, judging me, or you know
just
what I mean.
Whatever experience that isn't really even remotely like it's not a fact anymore. Like
no.
Can I bring it back to what I was still saying? Because I want to explore this idea further. Only because so I actually think I feel really bad for this part of the world. Middle East. It was a Middle Eastern person. And we have been painting that side of the world as literally terrorists since 2001.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
When is that story going to fucking end? And I saw myself reacting the way that I did, and it was my stories, what I experienced, plus generalizing, which I shouldn't have done, but I did it because it happened multiple times from the same part of the world. Plus, I know that females don't get as respected in that part of the world, so that's another thing that scares me.
And like, are they to blame? Really?
No, but then I think about like this story that they have to grow up with, and when I looked at them and I looked away and I didn't smile, I was like, I bought into what they wanted me to buy into, to believe that whole side of the world is a terrorist. Like, that's fucking bullshit. And I'm like, I have to remember the conditioning is so strong. And that's when I'm now thinking of, you know, the race, the division that we're trying to be told that, you know, either it's a black person, Asian person, white person, black person, Middle Eastern, everybody apparently there's something bad about them that we should believe in, you know, because the media is like, this person does this and this person of this race does this. And it's such generalizations. And even me, that person that really does fucking and my mom, she called me fucking sunshine. I love people, but it still caught me onto looking at them like I wasn't their equal. And I was like, I can't believe that they got to me. I have to rewrite this story. Because I am of that thought process that everybody's fucking awesome. But yet the programming is so hard because I grew up with those fucking stupid movies of Captain America, for example. Yeah. Like, how much propaganda do we have around the Middle East to start hating because they wanted the oil from Israel and all these places in the Middle East? They just wanted us to hate so that they could justify them going in for wars to take their oil. And we
already know, like, if you start traveling the world, like if you go to Mexico, Mexico is awesome people. You go to America, I met awesome people.
Yeah.
You know, like Europe, met awesome people. And it was funny, like I like when you started talking about it, it was I saw like a YouTube video about a dude that traveled the world on his, you know, like, what do you call it? Hitchhiking.
Hitchhiker.
Yeah. So he traveled, he had no money, like his goal was to travel the world hitchhiking, and like how he got food was he like offered to work, you know, like for food. So he went there like to different places all over the world and was hitchhiking and working for food, just like can I wash the dishes here for like 3 hours and get food, you know? So he was like, that was his, you know, thing. And he talked about that I thought was super interesting. So he was traveling, he was maybe in Europe, and he was maybe going somewhere, like he was going from you know, the Netherlands to Germany, and then, you know, like going to Turkey and Italy and like all over the place. And he's like hitchhiking, so he's like talking to somebody like that pulls him up in the car, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go there, and they're like, so you're going to Turkey, like you have to, like if you're hitchhiking, you really have to watch out because they're not nice like, you know, we are, like it's dangerous to do it, you know, they're not like me, like you're super lucky to meet me. And then he goes to Turkey and he hitchhikes and he gets the same speech from another guy about another country that he's going to, and then he goes to the next country and he hitchhikes and he gets the same speech. Yeah, so people are like, because they're so separate in different countries, they think, yeah, I am from, you know, the Netherlands.
So you're lucky to have me.
Because we are super nice here in the Netherlands, and then you go to Turkey and they're like, oh, super nice Turkey. You know what I mean? But it's all human beings.
Yeah. And there's always a few tiny rotten eggs that fuck it up for everyone.
Of course.
And plus, then you think about how much pain they had to go through as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really even the person. It's the environment.
Yeah, the upbringing, the environment, the story that's told about them as well,
like
from their family, the community, from the media.
How can we really blame like the person?
Yeah.
Like, they're just a product of the environment.
Yeah, totally.
Have you been to Turkey?
Well, Leon likes to say I haven't, but I say I have. I went to the Turkish side of Cyprus, and he's like, "It's not real."
I've been to Turkey.
Turkey is like,
so I took it off my
big
list until I go into like I don't know. Yeah,
you were in European Turkey basically.
Yeah, I guess. So. Yeah.
What is the most awesome place? Like
most awesome place
you've been to?
El Salvador.
El Salvador. Yeah. Why?
What I finally realized, and this is what I was saying to you guys before we sat down, I think the structured society that we now live in has become so rigid for me, and I miss the freedom and fluidity of being able to make certain different directions or changes or whatever, because it's not so set and not so rigid. Whereas I like the chaotic nature of, some people call it developing countries. It's not that. I that's not the right word for it. It's just different, I think. Some might have more money, some might have not. But like in El Salvador, they have a surplus of fresh food as well, which is really cool. They have high level of crime, so that needs to be addressed. But there is just something about these countries that is so raw, and it's unexpected, it's unpredictable, and it gives you a level of feeling of freedom, I think. And I just fucking had the best time surfing there last year. It was so much fun, and I just love the food, and the people are amazing.
Do they all drive around in like 50s cars?
No, that's Cuba. Haven't been there.
I don't know if it's only Cuba, but it's like
yeah, definitely not there. It's okay. I mean, the level of, there's definitely a lack of. There is, I mean, if people are like, oh, you're just painting a good picture of it, there's definitely bad to it, and in some cases, developing might be the right word for it. Now I'm catching myself. Now I'm just fucking critiquing everything I'm saying. I'm seeing that this is not the way that I want to do it. I'm filtering myself, and I don't want to do that. If people want to interpret me through a bad lens, that's not on me. That's on them. My heart is pure because I'm a guru.
Yeah. El Salvador. What was like your experience like?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It just
really nice. I feel like there's unfinished business there, which I like, because I want to have a base somewhere. Like my friend David, he also has a base in Argentina and in Iceland. I would like to have multiple bases. I would need somewhere where it's a bit chaotic, and I want to be surrounded by the locals, not by immigrants. So like in Bali, it might sound nice, but the amount of people that are there that are immigrants, like some people would like to call them expats. No, they're immigrants. I just don't want to. It's just feels too polished. I want to absorb different cultures.
What is your favorite part about traveling? Is it the cultures or?
Just the souvenirs, I think.
Souvenirs.
I'm kidding.
I love getting nice souvenirs.
The favorite part about traveling, it's just meeting people and realizing we're all fucking awesome. That's it. Like, you just literally get to see every part of the world. You're like, whoa. They try to make you out to be really scary or some shit, and it's not true. Cool. And I might have to go to the Middle East. Ta-da! Done.
I mean, it differs. You know, some people travel to just see locations. Some people travel to eat food. Some people travel to meet people.
I'm definitely, for me, it's the learning the people and how they live and just feeling into their soul and how they actually are.
My dad, he traveled in the Middle East. And it was actually one of his, most favorite places.
Yeah, it's such a culture shock, I think, as well, and the food and.
Yeah, and just the people too.
Sick.
I think he was there and at the best time as well.
He was like there during the war. Yeah, he was there like when Russia was there.
Yeah,
there was a war going on, and he went there alone, and he was like, because he was in Germany. And he got robbed in Germany, and so basically he was like walking in a bad neighborhood in Germany, and two guys come to him with knives, and he's like, he just landed, so he had like his backpack with him, everything, his passport, everything, and they're like trying to take his bag, so he like goes into like a corner with a backpack, and they're like shoving knives at him, and they start stabbing his backpack, with the knives, just like trying to scare him. And he has a knife, so he takes up a knife too, and it's like he was just like, fuck it, I'm like, there's gonna be a fucking
let's go then.
Yeah, there's gonna be a knife fight going on. and he screams, like, because he sees like some guys walking, so he screams, and those guys, they come and they pull up guns and tell the guys to fuck off. Yeah. and they walk him to the hostel where he was.
Holy shit!
So and those guys, they were like in a mafia. It's like the mafia like just saved him there. And they were like what were you doing alone there? And it's like he was like new to the city and stuff, and they're like, just don't go to this neighborhood. So he goes to the hostel, and he's shaking, like traumatic, like he's drinking coffee, and he's just shaking, like total breakdown, like after this. So this Arabic guy comes to him and starts talking to him, and it's like, do you need heroin? Because he thought he was like coming off heroin.
Damn.
Because he was shaking
so much. Yeah. Damn.
So he tells him the story, and this guy ends up like he owns a hotel, I think in Afghanistan or something like that, and invites him to come there.
Yeah, nice.
So that was like this beginning of this journey of and this is so crazy when you're traveling. Like you meet all these people.
Oh, I love that.
It's like, yeah, you should come like to this place, blah blah blah.
Do you have any stories crazy like that?
Firstly, I just want to say that I'm making it a personal challenge to go to the Middle East and fucking live it up there and change my story. That's going to be one thing. Do I have any crazy stories? Nah.
No?
I've traveled for 20 years, no stories.
You have no story.
Nothing ever happened. It was really boring.
That is just absolutely a lie right there.
There's so much that has happened.
I would like a whole movie set story. The weather, how was the weather?
Jesus Christ almighty.
You were never robbed or anything like that?
I was actually. The only time I've ever been robbed was in a hostel where I thought I was doing the right thing. I was in a hostel and I stayed in the girls only room. This was when I was fresh 18. And I was like, I'll be safe with all the girls. And that's the only time where all my shit, I came back because I was so ignorant. I just laid all my stuff out everywhere, which, it's good. I'm glad I did that because it made...
You had to learn.
I know, but also because I wish that it was like that. I'm glad I didn't come from a place of now when I go to hostels, because I still love hostels, I'll pack up all my stuff, which I fucking hate. I wish she didn't taint that experience for me, but such is life. Yeah, I just got back. I was really nice to her. I was chatting to her. I was like, hey, and then I left to get some food, came back, and all my shit was gone. And I was like, fuck. But if I think back on the memory, she needed it.
Yeah.
So she took it, and I'm glad she took it.
Really?
Yeah.
She just like talked to you and rubbed the shit out.
Yeah, she did. And she needed, I had shoes that she took. She obviously needed these things. And it was a pain in the ass. But, so it was some pieces of clothing and items, like whatever. So be it.
You were taken care of so far.
I am, and I've said this multiple times, I am the luckiest person on earth. And I say this because I heard my friend Hokur just down the road. He when I first came to Iceland, he always said he's the luckiest man in Europe. And I remember hearing this, and because of that true, honest belief, he kept on having these magical events happen to him. And I was like, damn, this is powerful. So now I am the luckiest person on earth, and I know that I am. And it doesn't mean that nobody else can be. In their own mind, they can be. But I'm like bringing in the best experiences ever.
You're the only lucky person in the world.
in my little reality. But that's what I'm saying. Like everybody's invited to feel the same way about their life and see what happens just through the magic of those words.
It's the same as I'm rich.
Yes, dude, when I was broke trying to make it rich, and I swear to God, this was one of the biggest reasons why it helped so much. I would repeat to myself every day, hundreds of times, lots of money comes to me easily and frequently. Lots of money comes to me easily and frequently. Lots of money. And it fucking happened.
Where's all this money come from?
Yeah, but it worked. And I repeated this for, 4, 5, 10 years just on repeat. In my diaries, everywhere, plastered everywhere. I just had this true, honest belief. Lots of money comes to me easily, frequently. And sometimes when you put something out there into the world, it needs a little bit of time to catch up and actually come true.
Yeah, but it also becomes your directive.
Yeah, and
and
absolutely never use the words "I can't afford it," "I can't do this," like none of those limiting words around finance, because I believe money is one of the greatest teachers a lot of us will have, and it's the reality that we have to live with in this human experience, that money is part of our deal to be here, and it is a fucking great teacher. And it is this beautiful energy that just wants to be respected and loved. And I had this gift as a child of actually just really honoring money from a very young age. And everybody, ask anyone in my family, they'll all tell you like, oh yeah, Sorelle was always destined to have cash. Like that was always going to be a thing. And it's true because I just had this high level of respect for cash, always for money, finances. I was like, there is some beautiful magic there. And I do believe that if you respect it with the highest degree and you realize it's just this beautiful energetic dance, it wants to come to you.
Maybe I should respect money more.
Yeah. I mean,
like no joke.
Yeah, I feel like I have gained more respect in my earlier, like my later years.
Definitely.
Like I did respect them when I was a kid. And I was like, I really liked money, you know, when I was a kid. But then, you know, I started taking a bunch of drugs. And then I stopped respecting money, you know.
Yeah.
It like flew away with my drug, you know, like taking drugs and stuff.
And then people get resentful towards money and they start hating it, blaming it, having fights over it with your, like, in your relationships. And that feeling towards finances definitely rubs off on your situation. And I do believe that there's a reason why they want us to believe that money is the root of all evil, all this bullshit lies, because once you realize it's not true, it comes to you and it's beautiful and everybody deserves it. And there's an abundance of finances in the world. It is endless. There is no limit. There is no cap at all, but you need to learn the game. Just like anything.
Yes.
You want to learn to ride a bike? You better fucking learn to, you put in the practice. Same thing. Learn the energetic game of finances.
I think it goes back to, you know, the mindset of like, what is being rich? Is it having a lot of money or having the mindset that you were talking about before? Money comes to me
Easily and
frequently, but at
lots of money.
Lots of money.
Not
and,
just
and
a little bit.
A lots of money, but also thinking I am rich. I am rich because I have rich thinking.
Yeah.
You know, I'm challenging myself, I'm pushing myself to think rich, and money will follow the rich thinking.
And some people
That's my belief.
Yeah, and some
Truly.
people might have a harder starting point. I'm not denying that. But lots of time, people that are broke as fuck always come up on top because they have such a high respect of money because they grew up with nothing. But it was the conscious choice of like, I need to shift my story as well as put in the effort. Yes, my situation sucks and there's a lot working against me about this. And obviously I sound like a fucking shut the fuck up, Sorelle, but
no, you don't.
Yeah,
Truly.
to some people I will.
Not.
To some people I will. And that's because I am, you know, I am privileged. I come from that. I understand that. But it doesn't mean that it's not available for everybody as well.
You're privileged because of your thinking.
But I'm privileged because like this level as well. I used to be like, ugh, I hate when people call me privileged. And I had to speak to a therapist about it actually, because it was just so frustrating that people would attack me for it. And I was like, fuck off. And then once I realized like, it's actually a really good thing. And you don't want to bring anyone down that is in a position of privilege, because once again, they're going to bring you up. So own the fuck out of it. I'm fucking privileged and I'm going to use that for good because I've been blessed with this possibility right now. So I'm going to do good. And some people have a way harder starting point. What I don't like, same thing, is like blaming everything that someone does on that one thing. It's like, oh, they have everything because of this one thing. Therefore, I'm not even going to try, because all you're doing is hurting yourself. You're not hurting anybody else. I'm not getting affected by your criticism of me. You're just hurting yourself by believing that, oh, she's got it because she's got X, Y, Z, or her background or her skin color or whatever. It's like you are hindering yourself. Yes, you might have a harder starting point. We acknowledge that. We know this, but don't kick yourself off the starting line straight away. Give yourself a chance.
Mind your own business.
Believe in yourself enough.
Believe in yourself and mind your own business.
Yeah. I mean, minding your own business is great because that means you have more energy to take care of your own shit.
Yeah,
so why would you not want to mind your own business?
Minding your own business, I mean, like not don't think that like if I'm pointing at you and telling you that you're privileged, and that's why I can't do something because like you can't understand me because you're privileged.
Yeah.
I'm not minding my own business.
Yeah.
I have to mind my own business, and I have to be focused on what I want to do. Focus on what I, like
spending your time solving your money problem.
Putting more energy into the solution, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I think about that there's a few different types of people needed in the world, and there is this really loud level of activism right now, like just speaking. But also it was so loud at one point that I had this realization of like, oh, everybody's just chatting online about like, yeah. Meanwhile, the real world is actually open for business, and I'm going to make the most of that world. Because whilst you're busy all just, this whole play level field is open because no one's willing to step out of the conversation and step into action. And I was like, oh, okay, you guys can bitch. I'll be over here. Like, I'm cool. But yeah, there is a level of people that need to be there just to raise awareness. The way they do it, it's up to them. There's some that I find are more effective ways of raising awareness, but it's their journey to figure out what that is. But I would say just if you can, like it's much easier to talk.
Yeah,
much
exactly.
harder to do.
Yep.
So I will actually not respect your opinion very much if you are just a talker. Show me, and then you'll get my respect.
That is some concrete stuff.
Yeah. Shit. We're like, I just love that you brought up like money. It's like, because in a sense it's like, because the people that have traumatic, experience with money, and because I feel like if like a lot of people have that, a lot of people have traumatic experience with money, and because there's like, I think even, if you have a traumatic experience, it's so easy to say, I don't like money. I don't want to have money. I don't care about money.
I don't
You
care.
start resenting it. Everything becomes a problem.
And it's, I truly, because I have been in that state of saying, I don't care about money.
Yeah.
I don't care about
That's when you've lost the game, I think.
And the thing is, me saying I don't care about money is me actually lying.
Of course it is.
And it's me lying to myself too. Because of course I want to have abundance of money. It's not because I want to be rich and have all this. I just want to have the possibility of the freedom that follows with the money. But you can also be having a lot of money and be trapped by the money.
Definitely.
So it's also like so the richness of the mindset is the most important thing. I have to know, like I have to also know that. Am I capable of having a lot of money? Because that is also like I said,
it's a challenge. It's a really big challenge of that's another thing. Like one, it's having the right headspace for it, welcoming it, being respectful for it. But then if you don't know how to manage it, oh girl, you better believe that it's gonna be gone in 3 seconds flat. You need to learn how to manage this shit because it is easy for it to disappear. Oh God. And I'm lucky because I'm a tight ass because we grew up fucking poor as shit. So when I'm such a tight ass, oh my God, I'm such a fucking tight ass. I'm getting better. But I am grateful for that journey because I allocated the funds when they came in quite well. And like we still have a rental car. We're just using a rental car. One's free because thank God it worked out that way. But I'm always trying to find like a sneaky deal. Of saving extra cash. I am, because I'm not going to just let this slip. I fucking worked so hard for it. And wherever there's structure within finance as well. So it's like the mindset, but also do you have the physical ways of knowing how to manage it when it comes to you? Or are you just going to piss it out the door? Because you need to know how to make it multiply, how to make the money have babies.
And what the fuck are you going to do with all that money? Like if you don't know what to do with the money,
then you're gonna buy sneakers. You're literally not gonna know where it went. You're gonna look back and be like, holy shit, where did it go? Because you paid for expensive dinners, drinks. You bought everybody rounds of drinks or some shit. It's like no. When it comes in, pretend you don't have the money still. And fucking allocate the shit out of it.
I already know a bunch of guys that have got like insurance money. Like they go into accident, maybe a car accident or something, and they get like a bunch of money.
Yeah, spend it.
it's gone like maybe 2 months.
It's fucking crazy.
Like a bunch of millions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they have millions.
Icelandic.
Yeah. It's
Not
like
the same million.
yeah,
No.
it's not. It's
But
a
it's
million is
still-
about 10,000.
okay. Yeah. Okay, about like maybe they're getting like $60,000 to $100,000.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And they just
20
blow
to
it?
30 million.
Bro,
Icelandic,
60 to 80,000 is enough to set yourself up for good.
For life.
Like if you do it well and structure it, you will be able to then make sure that money works for you basically for the rest of your life.
Your
It's
first
not
step.
comfortable yet. Like 100K isn't going to be like comfortable
No.
to invest and multiply the dollars, but it's enough to get you started on the journey.
Yeah, your
But you
first
have to
step.
have dedication to it because, I mean, as well, you look at fucking every single stupid brainwashing
Brainwashed.
music video out there, and it's just dropping the cash. Like, I got all the cash, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy this, and you're just seeing people spend. So you are programmed to believe that that's how you act. You should act because, hey, humans are best capital when we are consumers. Yay! So it's all according to plan.
Yeah.
Don't have money.
conveniently
Don't
fits
be
into the system.
exactly. Don't be empowered. Don't have your shit together. Because a person that is secure, has free time, has freed up their time, is no longer bound by the 9 to 5, is a free thinker because with extra time off, you also have the exploration of ideas. That person is a very dangerous person to society. So to me, that's like the ultimate way to be a rebel.
Yeah.
Because once they can't control you,
Yeah.
so you play the game until they can't have you anymore.
But that's what I'm also saying. If you lost your job during the pandemic and you're sitting at home and you're getting the check from the government and you're not using that time to do something that you're passionate about, what the fuck are you doing? Because you're basically living life like you would have all the money.
Exactly. It's your golden ticket right now.
Yeah.
So you better, and it's not going to last forever.
No.
But I think a lot of people they can't wrap their head around the fact that this isn't forever. And it's like, no, of course it's going to go back. And you remember that time when you had no time off?
And you're wasting it on doing what?
Yeah.
Because like I will see this as an opportunity. Like this is opportunity. If I have people say like, when I get all this money, I have all this free time. You know what I mean? And now you have all this free time. And you're getting money from the government, but you are doing what?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. And I'm even gonna catch myself there because I'm my own government right now, and I'm not actually working that hard on the next phase of my whatever Sorelle is going to be. I don't know what she's going to look like.
Compared to what?
Yeah, no, but that's my brain also. Like, I must do better.
Yeah.
Always, forever.
Because
but also, I was just going to say, because the busier you are, the more you'll get done. We know that a busier person always accomplishes more. So also with the no job right now, extra free time for the first time in their life. Awesome, recharge. You've never had a time off like this ever in your life, probably in your adult life. Enjoy that ride. But also if you want to get shit done, I think I notice I need to become busy in order to do more. It's not going to be like, oh, I'll just do an hour or two a day. It's not. I've got to fill my schedule. If I wanted to return back to the productive level I was, which I don't want to, but if I wanted to like crack another giant project, it would be to try to make myself busy again. So like wake up early, do the fucking workout, eat the breakfast, have a structured routine, 2 hours of study, 2 hours of execution, 2 hours of this, 1 hour break, go for a run, evening time off, next day, same thing. And try to make yourself busy because that's how you'll, in my eyes, I'm not a fucking expert, but I've noticed that if I'm busy, I'm way more productive.
Like more creative, if you get creative, you get more creative. That's like, I feel like that. When I'm working on an album, I get more creative and more stuff. You know what I mean? It's like now we're doing the podcast, and it's like after you start doing something, everything else that like complements it comes naturally.
Yeah,
it's really weird. That like first it's like just making the show and put it online, and then you're like, we could also do this, and it's so easy because you're already doing all this stuff.
Starts to fall into place.
Yeah, it flows out. Yeah, true.
And it's funny because you say that, because I like if I'm following what you are doing, like you tend to do so many things that like are super inspiring. Just like you're talking to me, I don't know, like how many months, like probably 8 months ago or something, and you're like, yeah, I really want to start making music, and you know, blah blah blah. And the next thing I know, you're like in singing classes, and you're like doing all this, and then
learning half guitar,
and you're playing piano,
yeah.
And I'm like, you don't even know, like, because there's so many people that tell me something, and like you're such a doer.
Yeah, I am a doer.
Yeah.
I am very much a doer, and I'm so grateful for it.
And that's a blessing.
Okay, but how do we get that more out of people? Because I also hear this people saying a lot, like, I have a dream, and I'm like, so do it. Like yesterday, I was doing my makeup, and I was like, fuck, I just got the really strong call, create a new YouTube channel. So I did it that day because I knew if I overthought it, I'd be like, nah, that's a really bad idea. Diverging like my audience is not a good idea. Also, I want to talk about controversial topic. That's not a good idea. That's going to hurt my brand. And I was like, don't think, just do. And I was like, which sometimes can backfire, but also.
Yeah.
So how do we get more people to do that? Because right now I'm in a resting zone as well. I've never been in this space where I'm resting, which is really cool. I'm learning to rest and recharge, which is nice. Do nothing. What the fuck is that?
You're working on yourself. Like,
yeah.
You're investing in yourself.
Oh, I like that. But yeah, for those that want to know how to do more, how the fuck does that happen?
It's weird because, you know, like I feel like, you know, because I go back to talking to you about making a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking like, I should do like YouTube videos. And then I was like, what should I do about? And I was like starting to think about it. And then we're starting to research about all that stuff. And I started making videos. I started like filming videos and doing stuff. But I wasn't really in that zone because I was going through so much shit at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
And the thing is, and I was kind of punishing myself for it. I was like, dude, you're supposed to do all that. I was like, there was a time where I decided to go to the summer house and stay there for 2 weeks. I was like, I'm gonna stay alone in my grandparents' summer house for 2 weeks, and I'm just gonna focus on like making videos, making music, doing something creative. And I ended up like having 4 days of me just sleeping.
Wow.
I was just like I was like done energy wise, like boom, like I didn't have any creativity. I didn't have like all this like and
listen to your body.
Yeah, and I kind of realized that it wasn't the right time, you know, because I wasn't being true to myself of the situation that I was going through.
Yeah, life was asking a lot of you last year.
Yeah, it was like
on top of the fucking pandemic.
Yeah,
Jesus
it was like
Christ.
there's so much going on.
So to force yourself to be creative and do your best during that time.
Yeah, I was like, I really have to. And now I feel like it's just like I'm already like maybe manifesting it, but it's like putting it in a space where I feel like it's not work.
Yeah, it's coming naturally.
Yes, it's just natural. It's just flowing, you know.
Okay, so maybe sometimes it's waiting for the right time, putting yourself in the right headspace for it, where it's not. This is a big thing, not feeling like you're pushing uphill.
Yeah,
because I felt very much in the last 2 years that I was pushing this giant brick uphill, and only now even creating videos on my main YouTube channel has been so hard. Get me to create one YouTube video, I have to sit on that for like 2-3 weeks. I'm exhausted by that idea. Yesterday, sat down and filmed, edited in an hour and maybe an hour and a half. It was so easy. I was like, whoa, this is fun. I remember this feeling. But I was pushing the wrong thing up the hill. So fuck, I don't know.
It's so funny because you're basically doing the same thing, but it comes from that place of, this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? And the other thing is like, I'm doing this because I'm supposed to.
And that feels uncomfortable, man.
It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It's balance, you know, it's balance. You have to train yourself to be not lazy. You have to be structured and have discipline and create routines and all this stuff. And also you can't force some sort of idea. Like if it's not working, you have to see it and you have to back off and like let yourself rest or, you know, and then come back to it.
And maybe also when you're in a space where you like, we know times when we're working on a project and it's and every fucking challenge under the sun comes up, but you're like, nah, I've got this. because you know it's where you're meant to be, and you're like, I'll take on the challenge. Or if it's not where you should be, and you keep getting those challenges, and you're like, drained more and more and more by it, maybe that's a sign that either it needs to be gone or pivot, which was in my instance. I almost left YouTube last year, actually. No, January I was meant to finish, and last second I just didn't, and then now I'm like, I just needed to start a new YouTube channel.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Focus on something new.
Yeah, so I still love it. I love being on camera. Give me all the attention. Hello. But yeah, just not. Yeah, sometimes it just needs a tiny pivot.
It's fucking awesome.
How long?
Yeah, I was just thinking, we're pretty
2.5?
far in, I think.
2 hours.
2 hours. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to pee like a racehorse.
Yeah, this is what happens.
I've never heard that.
Really? Aussies say this a lot.
That was great.
I think this is just perfect.
Yeah.
And you're always welcome to the podcast too.
I love this.
Oh yeah, please,
Yeah.
please
This was
do.
so fun.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
love that you're doing this.
Yeah.
I know you've talked about it for a while, and your idea kept refining and becoming more beautiful, and you are one of the wisest guys that I know. You always drop these little wisdom pieces. I'm so grateful that you're doing this. This is awesome, getting to the root of who it is to be human together with Maoni, my new friend that I met today.
Yeah, this this an awesome person that I'm doing it with.
Childhood friend.
The thing
he's
is,
my brother, actually.
yeah, we grew up at like.
Yeah, you guys are actually brothers.
Yeah.
Like, in that way,
Yeah.
brother from
I
another
know
mother.
a
Yeah.
little bit about this
brother
too,
from
right?
another mother.
Yeah.
But it's also like, you know, like being like we have talked about this, like being two guys, you know, having podcasts together, and actually it has been so easy.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes like you have those energies, and like you want to make an environment where basically feel comfortable to share about things and
Well, the green couch definitely helps.
yeah.
This beautiful couch set. Hello.
Yeah, this green couch is super powerful, making that sound.
Even if we had like a crazy sound studio, we would still have some sort of super cozy setup like this.
It has to be.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's part of the allure. We want to be a super real cast, you know.
Hell yeah. I feel very comfortable. I'm very, I loved it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Mission accomplished.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, beautiful people. Tune in.
Thank you, Sorelle, for it being awesome.
Thank you so much, Sorelle, for coming over and having crazy talks with us.
Thank you for having me.
Check out Sorelle.
Sorelle Amore everywhere.
Yeah.
And her new YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Sorelle Amore times the universe.
Oh yeah. Super interesting. Bye bye. Stay sexy.
It's our favorite song.
Yeah.